we ask a Native elder or deeply seated participant in the community to welcome us to the place that we are, to remind us that there were people who lived here long before the state was settled or the city was settled. And so we have two great folks with us today. You've already heard from Joe. Joe Podlasek is the executive director of the American Indian Center of Chicago, and he is going to be joined to welcome us to this place by Ansel Deon, who is a hand drummer. So I'd like to welcome them to the stage. So I've just given them ceremonial tobacco and some wild rice that was grown in Minnesota. So welcome, Joe and Ansel.
Thank you, Vicki, and to everyone here participating for allowing us to remember where we are today. And please share this with other conferences that you do, because it's very respectful and so appreciated to ask for our people to come and open up like this. So thank you for the gift. I wanted to first introduce myself. My name is Joe Podlasek. To the creator, my name is Moshkadi Bijigi Bego Gabawe. I am Ojibwe. I am a citizen of the Ojibwe Nation, Lakudare, in northern Wisconsin. And I say citizen because we are not members, enrolled members. We are citizens of our own government. And that is very important to continue that message as we look at expanding things. East Chicago is where we are, named appropriately by the Potawatomi people many, many years ago as the Stinky Onion Land. So who would ever thunk that they would take all of our land away? There are no tribes here in Illinois left. They were all run off over some stinky onion land. I don't get it. But they did develop it into many things. But to our elders and ancestors that have traded here for many, many years, thousands of years, when you look at timelines of people on this land, the native population is this long, and the current, influx of people. I don't like to use immigration. I know that's the catchword, but it's about welcoming people here. That's what we did. As we've been retitled about every 10 years, whether we're Native, American Indian, it's our name of our tribes is how that is. And all of our tribal names reference the people of that tribe, however they do it. That's how those names were created, by the area that they lived in. So here there were Lakota people, there were Ojibwe, there were Miami, and there were Potawatomi for a long time. So I wanted to thank you for allowing us to share that. The American Indian Center was formed in 1953 and it is the oldest urban Indian center in the country. It was a government attempt to break up the reservations and assimilate Native people into urban settings. Didn't work. It's not going to work. So we are recognized in Chicago, also in Washington, D.C., in the new Smithsonian National Museum of the American Indian. We were the only urban community selected out of the Western Hemisphere to have an exhibit there. And we were part of the opening. We are still there. And our goal is to continue to talk about people, Native people that live off reservation. This is our land. We are not tied to a particular space. Nobody else is. Why should we? These were all our lands at one time. So we need to think about that. And that's part of my other role is as the president of a National Urban Indian Family Coalition. we are working on policies to help everyone understand that wherever we live, those rules, those policies should extend to from our government on the reservation. We want to make sure those continue to be strong, get stronger, because they are our leaders, but those policies should extend off of these boundaries that they've set. It doesn't apply to any other nationality. Why for us? So we're continuing to do that here in Illinois. That's one of the missions of the American Indian Center, but we also, through the arts and social justice issues, so it's a way of life for us. They've been titled, but the arts, the culture, is who we are. And then we have to fight and use the social justice issues to change policies and look at things in a new way, which I really love. The title that was here is for creative, supporting creative agendas through the arts. One of the things that Ansel does behind me, he's going to share a song with us here in a minute. He grew up at the American Indian Center, learned from our elders with the drum, and is now teaching our young ones. Our youth program is engaged with the arts and arts learning, and we also have a gallery called Trickster Gallery, which is, we chose Trickster because it's a cross-cultural teacher. For many of our people, it's the raven, it could be the spider, but it is really a spiritual leader, and that's the name of our gallery, and how we approach arts and culture, but really explaining who we are and giving our people a chance to express themselves as they choose. That's why we chose gallery, not museum.